So this meeting is being live streamed. Okay. Okay, we're live. Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda, and I am the moderator. Today, we are showcasing your psychic tarot friends, and we have 3 psychics on the panel today. The first psychic we have is Psychic for Lovers, known as Pastor Moses. Pastor Moses is a spiritual pastor. She is a psychic, tarot card reader, clairvoyant, claircognizant, intuitive, and dream interpretation. With over 30 plus years of experience, she's worked as a psychic online with Keen, Live Advice, and 5-Star Psychic. Her website is psychicforlovers.com. She does private readings, and her YouTube channel is Psychic for Lovers, FOUR. The next psychic we have is Janet. She is the second psychic on our panel today. Janet is the second psychic on our panel today with over 40 plus years of experience. She has been on over 100 plus TV shows such as David Letterman, Sally Jesse Raphael, Regis and Kelly, The Joe Franklin Show, Joy Dayhow, and multiple radio shows. She is a psychic, clairvoyant, clairsentient, aura reader, medium, picture reader, palmistry, handwriting, pet psychic, and healer. Her contact info is bklyn Jim, GYM123 at gmail.com. Her Cash App is Psychic for Lovers. Mystic Blue Psychic is another psychic on our panel today. Her gift is psychic, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, mediumship. She reads crystal balls, the pentulant. She does scribble readings and reads auras and chakras. She has over 15 plus years of experience. She is a traveling psychic, does private readings, and has her own shop, Mystic Blue Readings in Kentucky. Her website is mysticbluepsychicreadings.com, and her Cash App is mysticblue1879. Today, we are doing general readings and paid readings. There are 2 options to get a paid personal reading. You can pick between these 2 psychics, Mystic Blue and Janet. Mystic Blue for $3 per question and Janet for $5 per question. You would need to pay through Cash App before starting the reading. The second option is a paid reading. There are 2 options to get a paid personal reading, Mystic Blue for $3 per question and Janet for $5 per question. Plus, for a free bonus, Psychic for Lovers will answer the same question free of charge if you comment, like, and subscribe to her YouTube video. Her YouTube channel is Psychic for Lovers, and the link will be listed in the chat below. So today we are going to be talking about Kim Kardashian and her love life. So before we start that, we're going to start with Pastor Moses, and she is going to look for the energy for the days of the week. We will be starting on Wednesday. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting, please?
Yes, sure. Okay, so Wednesday energy is about Mercury, the planet Mercury, and Mercury is about communication. So Wednesday is always a good day for signing contracts, having a heart-to-heart talk. It's a very good day to communicate. So we're going to see what the upcoming Wednesday energy is, okay? And keep in mind, Mercury's in retrograde. So that means that you need to be careful, even though Wednesday is a good day for signing contract, you need to be careful with contracts and communication because people will take things the wrong way, or whatever you sign might not be what you think it is. So be careful with Mercury and retrograde. It doesn't always affect everyone, but it does affect some people. All right, so let's see the energy for Wednesday, which is Mercury. Okay, so what we get is that it's a really good day to have a real heart-to-heart talk with more mature woman. So basically, if you're young and you want some advice, it feels like they will give you good advice. Look for a mature woman, a nurturing woman that can give you some good advice, especially a female energy, because she will be very supportive. And whatever she says, hold on to it. Okay, make sure you value it, because she's going to say something that's going to be of importance that you need to think about, and you need to take with you throughout your life, because she's going to give you a lot of value. That's what I get for Wednesday.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. I like how clear and quickly you were able to read that. Also, please be in mind that this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everyone, right, Pastor Moses?
That's correct.
Okay, so next we're going to go into Janet. Janet will be explaining palmistry. Janet, would you mind starting, please?
Well, if you look at your hand, everybody's hand, believe it or not, the way you hold your hand, the way the colors are your hands, every single thing about your hand will tell a lot about your motives and what you do. And if you want to look at your hands and your fingers, I could tell you, we could start with the way the fingers, the way you hold your fingers. So if you hold your hands out in front of you, you look to see what finger, how wide the spaces between your fingers are. Are your fingers straight? Are they crooked? Every single thing in the finger has a meaning. Now let's look at your pinky. If your pinky is very, very close, pinky represents the planet Mercury in astrology, and pinky is communication. So the further your pinky sticks out, the more you're going to need to talk. My pinky is at an L, which means I talk a lot. And if your pinky at the other end is very, very tight to your ring finger, it's very close, that means that you don't want to speak, or you were not allowed to speak. If other than arthritis, if your pinky is all crooked and under your ring finger, those are usually your sneak thieves that rob the registers and do things like that, because they had to develop that skill. But otherwise, when the pinkies are straight, that means you talk straight. When the pinky is at a curve, that means you might be a good storyteller. And the more your pinky sticks out in your palm, the more you're going to have a need to talk. And sometimes you do have to hold back, because you have to give other people a chance, even though you're excited.
Thank you, Janet, for explaining that. Next, we have Mystic Blue Psychic, and she will look at the energy that she sees around Mercury at Mercury retrograde and people with their love life. Mystic Blue, would you mind starting, please?
Well, what I feel here is that a lot of people have miscommunication issues and disruption in their energy. I feel that basically there's a lot of complaints going on in the energy with love, and a lot of confusion about partners ripping apart, and complying on different mistakes of their situations. I just see that basically there's a lot of stress around the energy, okay? There's just so much that's there. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Mystic Blue.
So can I ask you a question, Mystic Blue?
Yes.
Cool. With Mercury and retrograding, you're feeling all that. So you feel like, what is it that they need to be cautious of in their relationship? Basically, because of the Mercury and retrograde and the communication. Is that what it is?
Yeah, like working out things a little bit more easy. The reason why is because there's a lot of people out there that have they get angry real easy and quick, short fused all the time. They need to understand about complying with each other and working together.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's very good. You explained that very clearly. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mystic Blue. So next we're going to go into Kim Kardashian and her love life. The first question we have today is, so just a little background. Kim Kardashian is a celebrity who was married to rapper Kanye West for a while. They have 4 children together, and they are pretty much a big deal in the world because of their status with how they are a celebrity. So that was a little background about them. But to go into it, we're going to talk about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West and the relationship that they had, which many of you know now they are in the process of getting a divorce, which I believe was finalized. The first question we have is, how was Kim and Kanye's relationship when they were married? Pastor Moses, would you mind starting on that, please?
Yes, thank you for that. So I don't really follow them, and I'm sure that Janet and Misty Blue don't follow them as well. But we know of them, but we don't follow them. Okay. So I'm going to look and see how their relationship, Kim and Kanye relationship was. Okay. Okay. And this is going to be my bottom card. Okay. So it looks like they're like we said, they're celebrities. So money is a big part in their relationship. I feel like he's really into money. And it feels like he is very, very business oriented and very, very, how would I say, stern, So it feels like Kanye is a very serious-minded guy when it comes to money. So I feel like that's important, again, in their relationship. But I feel like there was a lot of secrets. I feel like he kept a lot of secrets in the relationship, even from the beginning. He did not really expose a lot of things to her. He was very secretive, and she had trust issues when it came to him. And I feel like he held on to some past, especially some past issues that happened to him, maybe when he was young, maybe even as a boy. It feels like he held on to those and he never let them go. And I feel like he didn't share that with her or a lot of people at all. And it just made him constantly angry. I feel like he had to deal with his emotions he did not deal with his emotions, and that caused him to be angry. And I feel like because he was in a way, he's emotionally angry and having worked through all the disappointments and hurt in the past, I feel like he brought that into his marriage. He was fantasizing that this marriage is going to be what he wanted. She's beautiful, she's smart, and I feel like she fantasized that he was going to be what she wanted. He's thrilling, he's exciting, it just felt like they kind of met each other's needs in the fantasy part. But I feel like she really loved him. I feel like, they had a lot of emotions and he loved her. I feel like she's very, very sensitive in a way. So you have to be careful, and she's very emotional. And I feel like the relationship, there was a little bit of control issues going on when it came to Kanye. And I feel like they kind of just stayed in the relationship, not only because of the feelings, but also the fantasy that they had of how they feel this relationship is going to go. And when it came to Kim, she really kind of wanted and hoping that the relationship would last. She stuck in there for a while because she felt like, that he was the man for her. And that's what I got. And also, like at the end was that I think Kim was the one that made a decision that she didn't want to continue the marriage. Okay.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. It's interesting that you bring that up, because when I read a lot of the blogs, even such as like the Shade Room and everything like that, his mother passed from plastic surgery, and they were saying like he's never been the same since. So he brings a lot of like the drama because, he never fully dealt with that situation. So that's interesting to hear.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And Janet, would you mind going into how Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's relationship was when they were married?
Oh, well, yeah. The first thing I want to say is that I really like seeing her because it's inspiration for women as they get older, that they can really still look and feel beautiful, and that she takes the effort to do that, is telling the people that she wants to be admired. She wants to set an example to show, don't give up as you get older. You could still look fantastic and great. So that message that she's giving is a very strong message of inspiration to women who, want to look better, but don't want to be told, oh, you're older now. What are you looking better for? So, but she, her, wait, the question, what was the question?
Yeah, of course. So the question was, how was Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's relationship when they were married?
First, well, the thing was that she tried to make herself a really beautiful, perfect, a woman that is all girly and wants a man to really love her. And then she attracted a man like him. He was all masculine. He was very, aggressive and strong and protective. And her heart was open to him because she felt, now I'm good enough for somebody that is all male, has good manners, treats me well. And she really opened her heart more and more, hoping that that was enough. But the problem that he had was that he had other women always throwing themselves at him. And of course, his ego would, like he might even just flirt around with somebody or talk to somebody or whatever it was. She didn't feel he was 100% for her, but she wanted 100%. And that was like her error, because she would have had to learn a little bit more about submissiveness to certain things when you go that high. People at certain energies are predictable in their energy. And if you can accept that and know ahead of time by going to a psychic, then you prepare yourself and you're not so disappointed. So right now, she closed her heart to anybody else to come into her life. And that's why her new boyfriend is he's so much fun. She wants someone that's fun, that's different, that can do all kinds of fun things and distract her from, her disappointment, that on her weak side she'd say, well, why wasn't I good enough? But it wasn't her. And, but it's natural. It's just natural to always feel you've done something. But it really was life. If you understand energies in life, they're all predictable. But I think she knew that whatever time she would have with him, she could still enjoy loving him and feeling that he loved her. And he does love her, and he did want to. But some of her demands he was not able to, fulfill those certain things that she wanted. And there was some disappointments he had in her, because men of that type also need very submissive women. They can't have it all. So there.
Thank you, Janet. I think you made some really great points there. This one is for Ellen now. So it's the same question. How was Kim Kardashian and Kanye West relationship when they were married?
Well, what I feel here is that basically he was a loner, okay, before he met her. He was all by himself, he wasn't feeling very good about himself, Then later on, he ended up meeting her, and then ended up basically, I guess, secretly hiding the relationship for a while, okay? I guess because of publicity here, okay? And that's what I feel here. But I believe that he showed her some sort of emotion, okay? And I guess they traveled a lot, the entire time, for a while, great while, probably traveling. Then I just feel like they started getting really serious later on. but now it seems a little bit kind of like maybe probably a little bit depressing for her, because he's kind of a little bit down or depressed here. But the thing is that I feel that basically, you know, they're going to end up splitting or doing something else eventually in the future. Okay.
Thank you, Ellen.
And that's what I got.
So the next question is for Pastor Moses. Was Kim Kardashian and Kanye West relationship real or for publicity?
Okay, let me check. So I feel like their relationship was real in terms of emotions and feelings and love. It wasn't for publicity, even though publicity is a big thing, you know, in terms of how they make their money. They have to be in the spotlight. But I feel like it wasn't primarily or just for publicity. It was because they really cared about each other. It's just that it feels like, you know, the fights got bad, you know, I feel like they wasn't even thinking that this was going to lead to marriage. And when they did get there, it was like, oh, okay, this is something, the next step in what's going on in our relationship. So they was not even prepared for the marriage to happen. And when it did happen, they were like, okay, let's do this. It just feels like it was real. It was real because there's a lot of heartache in this relationship, this breakup. This breakup has caused a lot of heartache. And especially with Kanye, he's kind of having a hard time with dealing with the breakup. It's like he's still trying to control the relationship in a way, trying to control, you know, how they deal with each other. So it feels like it was for real.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. You touched on some really good points. And the reason I say that, because he's really hurt. This is obviously public news. He's been going on a lot of rants. And then on their new show that I've recently tuned into, he tries anyway to like keep the relationship with her because he said he wants to be her stylist now. So I think you're very spot on with your reading right now, just confirming on what I see and hear.
Okay.
So the next question is for Janet. Was Kim Kardashian and Kanye West relationship real or for publicity?
Well, of course, the nature of the relationship was publicity minded, and so they knew they had to sacrifice a lot of privacy. But Kanye and they both still really love each other. It's just all the emotions and everything that went on just came to a point where they had to just have a relief from each other for a while and all the emotions. But would he go and smack another guy if he went to, you know, said something about her and try to hurt her? He wouldn't do that. He had enough sense, even though he might be angry about a lot of things, but he would always be there to protect her when he can, no matter what newspapers say or what anyone says. His heart still belongs to her. And he's just extremely disappointed that because of publicity, because of stories made up about him and everything, he couldn't really be authentic. She couldn't be authentic. And they wouldn't do it for publicity. I mean, they would do it ultimately for publicity, but their emotions were absolutely real and loving.
Thank you, Janet. Also for Ellen, was Kim Kardashian and Kanye West relationship real or for publicity?
I believe that it was real, but I just feel that basically they had a family, you know, but the thing is that, you know, he's just more so like very emotional or in touch with his feelings a lot with things. But the thing is that what I feel here is that basically, I think it was more so with the money and the power a little bit about things here. And I think that he felt like he had to walk away from it for a while to escape away from his family. But I believe that he's thinking about coming back, realizing what he's doing. I think that he had to take a break for a while because of his family. Maybe because of money and family and, stuff like that. That's pretty much what I have a take of.
Thank you, Ellen. So we are going to go back into our general questions. So Pastor Moses is going to see the energy of the day Thursday. Pastor Moses, would you mind starting that, please?
Yeah, sure. Please let us know if there's anybody that would like a reading. Again, can you remind them how the readings are? So
yes.
Just in case. Mm-hmm.
So to get a reading, we are doing general readings, which we are doing now, and paid readings. There are two options to get a paid personal reading. You can pick between these two psychics, Janet and Mystic Blue. $3 per question for Mystic Blue and $5 per question for Janet. You would need to pay through Cash App before starting the reading. So Psychic for Lovers or Mystic Blue 1879. The second option is a paid reading. There are two options to get a paid personal reading. Mystic Blue for $3 per question or Janet for $5 per question. Plus for a free bonus, Psychic for Lovers will answer the same question free of charge if you watch a YouTube video, like, comment, and subscribe. Everything will also be left in the chat.
Thank you. Okay, so Thursday energy is Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. If I'm correct, I think Jupiter is the biggest planet out of all the planets. So it is, right? That's correct, right, guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So Jupiter is expansion and abundance. And Jupiter also represents luck in the color orange. Okay. So all this, Jupiter is like really good. I'm kind of happy that I was born on a Thursday. So Jupiter is also Thursday. Okay. So anyway, so it's expansion, it's luck. So gotta be careful. There's good and bad when you talk about abundance. It can be like you eat too much, so you get big, and it can be, people like, look at the people who are so rich, right? They're filthy rich, the billionaires, trillionaires, but then they get greedy. They want more. It's not enough, so that's not good. You understand that they're never satisfied and they do things in order to try to get more. You know what I'm saying? So there's good and bad when it comes to everything, and even Jupiter, which is, again, Thursday. So we're going to read the energy around Thursday. It's coming Thursday. Okay. So what I get for this coming Thursday is that there is going to be some, again, this applies to some people, not everyone, but I feel like some legality. So if you have some legal stuff going on, so I feel like the energy is going to be, you're not going to be prepared. You're not going to be prepared for the outcome, what's to come. But I feel like even though you might not feel it's for the best, I feel like it is going to be for the best, because it's almost like I feel like it's like a karma thing. You know what I mean? It's like maybe if there's something that was going on that was pretty negative, or you did things, it's going to come back on the justice when it comes to the justice system. If you have done things positive and everything the right way, then it's going to come back in a positive way. So I feel like whatever it is, you're not going to be prepared for the outcome, but the outcome is a just outcome from the karmic perspective. Okay.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. That was very informative. So next we're going to go into Janet, and Janet will be reading palmistry.
Are you okay? Janet, can you see it on the
Yes, yes. Now, if you look at your middle finger, which represents Saturn, if you look at your middle finger, it's very, very interesting because you got to look to see if your middle finger is about even with your other fingers, or if it's longer and how much longer it is. The length of the middle finger determines a lot about your basic energies, which means that it is it's the planet of Saturn, and it is the meaning of it is service. Now, the more a person has a longer middle finger, the longer it is, the more they're going to be more family or community oriented in a service way. It comes natural for them. You can't tell someone that's born with very straight fingers, oh, you have to cook for the community. You go, unless I'm a cook and I do what's right, I'm not interested. They may do it for work. I can't say they can't do it, but the ones that have natural inclinations to be the, like if it's a woman, she wants to make sure she's very good mother and good to her family. If it's a man, he wants to make sure they're provided for. And it's the main emotion is the emotion of love and service to people they care about. Now, also, though, it's good to know that if the fingers are very straight across, I'm predicting all the ball games and everything, because the more the fingers are straight across, very close to each other, even, that means that they are really good at physical sports and physical things. So, you know, in baseball, especially, they can always catch the ball if they don't have a mitt on or something. But the natural inclination is that they can have more dexterity with their fingers in catching and throwing. And if you have a baby that has straight hands across, you know they're going to be athletic. It's more of a physical feeling than anything else. That is a gift. Now you can have different little variations of it, but it basically shows strength in the area of sports or working hard.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Wow. It is. Can I ask a question, Janet?
Yeah.
So when you say the middle finger, which is Saturn, which is what we just talked about with the reading I just did, that's kind of interesting how it tied in. When we talk about that, and you're saying how long it is, you're comparing it to what finger in terms of the length? Because my finger is longer. Mm-hmm.
Which one?
My middle finger is longer than all my fingers, maybe about a half an inch. So, but I'm comparing it to, I guess that's the poindexter?
The index or the ring?
The index.
The index finger, basically, when the index finger is longer is long also. And that means a person has to feel in control of their life. And when it is smaller, that means they're more submissive and not feel, are more cooperative energy. They're cooperatives and supportive energies. But as they get longer, you'll see every boss has the longest index finger you're going to see, because they're used to pointing. You do this, you do that, you do this, my way. So that's, the index finger will grow. And if you put your two palms together at the bottom and you make your fingers match, you're going to see the hand you write with. If the index finger is longer, you develop personality to be in charge and be a boss. And you cannot have a strong index finger and be in a submissive position unless you cooperate for that instant, but it's not your natural inclination.
Right, but no, that's not what I was asking. I'm saying that my middle finger is longer than all my fingers, but I wanted to know if we comparing it to other fingers, by which one are we comparing to in terms of length? Are we fit the index finger in terms of length? Like it's like a half an inch longer than my index finger.
And what about you? And your ring finger should be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than the rest, basically. But I will tell you something about that in a second. But your index, your ring finger, if you look at your ring finger, that is the planet Apollo. That's what matches that or Apollo, and that finger is one of creativity. A person who might not want to be the boss, they want to be an artist. So when there's a basic natural inclination of each length, but then you stretch it or you make it longer based on your personality. You could change things. Like, I didn't want to be submissive. I never cooked in my life. I pushed my middle finger down. I don't want to cook. I don't want to do that. So I never did. I never had to. But that's because I knew, I was aware, and I just pushed it back down. I don't want a service job. I don't, it's not what I want. So I knew what I wanted, and it's always good to know what would work against you. Like, if you have a lot of brothers and sisters and you have the biggest middle finger, they're going to go to you first. But if you're going to match your, to help us. But if you match your fingers together, one side of your body, that side you write with, could be a little longer than the other side based on your personality, saying, I want to adapt to different traits. I knew I was born submissive, but I do not want to be. So then you will grow your index finger to say, I'm going to go to school and be a boss. I don't want to be. People should know that they're born with a certain amount of DNA traits, but you can strengthen those traits by willfully being aware of the meaning of your fingers and how you hold them.
Okay, so I got.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
My question is, okay, so what I was trying to say is my index finger is longer. The second longest finger is actually my ring finger. Followed by, sorry, not my index, sorry. My middle finger is the longest, followed by my ring finger, the second longest, and then it comes my index finger.
Mm-hmm. So your index finger is shorter than your ring finger?
Yes, it is, actually.
Well, that means, you know what that means? And I had to study anthropology and everything to know that. If you go to the caves of old caves of the oldest people around that ever survived, the people back then had bigger ring fingers than the other fingers because they only lived for survival. And when they put they did ink prints on the walls, and you could see all the mothers of children and all the people that in that area, in that time frame, way back then, they all had big ring fingers because that finger, they had to be creative to survive, and nobody was the boss. As we got older, we grew more, people became more into, we got college now. I don't have to survive, I don't have to think about that, so it's interesting to see that you had to be a very, very, very old soul that survived, and you know how to survive, don't you?
This is true. I know how to survive. Yes, I truly do. Yes. I wasn't big on jobs. I didn't even know I had that. I had to create my own finances. I had to survive all my life. Yes, this is so true. Wow, that's very interesting. Okay.
I do shows all the time in restaurants, and I just tell everybody everything, and they can't believe how I know, because it's in their fingers.
Wow. Okay. So Amanda, do you want to tell her what your fingers is about? And Ellen? That's interesting.
For me, my pointer finger, so the one after the thumb, is shorter than the middle finger.
Right. That's natural. Go ahead.
Right. But your ring finger and your index finger, which is your one after your thumb, is your index finger, and your middle finger. So I'm sorry, your middle finger is longest, right?
Yes.
What's the second longest? What's the next longest one?
My pointer finger.
Your pointer finger. Okay, so you said that's natural. Okay.
And ring finger?
And then it would be ring finger, and then it would be my pinky finger, and then my thumb.
Okay. Now, what about you? Okay, go ahead. No, sorry. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ring finger. Is your ring finger straight, crooked, bent forward? do your fingers bend forward or they go straight? How
So my fingers are very straight.
Okay, so that means that you have your mind rules your body. It's a finger of creativity and the creative mind, and your mind wants to think straight. You want to always do things right because it's straight. Me, on the other hand, I'm creative, so I will glue something before I'll nail it. Of course, it'll fall down, but I like to think I'm creative. So creativity is in the ring finger, and the index finger is your mind. How you use your mind with discipline or with whatever you want, it gives you the strength as the finger grows longer.
Thanks, Janet.
Okay, what about
how you can understand yourself from your hands? And then the next time we talk, I'll tell you about those lines. The picture shows the lines, so I could tell you what the lines mean. Every single line means everything. I know so much about somebody just from their lines, and no two people are ever the same, even triplets.
Wow. Okay, Ellen, I'm sorry, Magic, Mystic Blue, what about your hand? Your fingers?
Well, mine is basically my ring fingers like bent down.
Oh, mine is too, but that's another story. Okay, so your long finger, your middle finger, is it the longest out of all of your fingers?
No,
Your middle finger is not the longest?
No,
What's the longest? What's the longest finger? Can you hold your hand up?
I think it's my thumb or well, not my thumb, but I guess you're right. I guess it is my middle finger, I think.
Your thumb cannot be the longest finger. Can you hold your hand? Hold your hand up in that thing. Janet, can you see your hand?
No, I don't see it.
Put your hand right in front again.
You see it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't see it yet. I see your table. I don't see it yet.
You don't see me?
No, I don't see her hand yet.
I can see it. You can see, look on there, there's crystal ball. You can see the hand right by the crystal ball. Hold it.
Describe it for me because I don't see it.
Hold it up like
wait.
Let me move the crystal ball.
That's whose hand is that? Whose hand is that?
Right there?
This is my hand.
Yeah. And this is, whose hand is this?
This is mine.
Who's mine?
Okay, I'm moving my hand away.
Wait a minute. Let me see that hand again. Wait.
Which one?
The one now with the silver ring and the gray dress. Who's that?
That's me.
Okay, now what about the other hand? The other person.
Okay.
This is Mystic Blue.
Mystic Blue. Look how I'm holding my hand. Hold your hand like this. Look at the screen. Okay, good. Hold it the other way. Like, can you hold it? Okay, there you go. Leave it. Okay, go ahead, Janet. Leave it there. Leave it there. Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Can she go on your? I don't see her hand. I don't see it.
You see the crystal ball?
No, I did before, but not now.
You see it with the pink?
No, I didn't. Before I saw her picture. Now I just still see your desk picture.
Okay, Amanda, maybe it could be adjusted. Speak. Oh, Mystic Blue, say something. Here's my hand.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, keep talking.
Right. Can you see my hand?
Not yet. Oh, there. Oh, yeah. Now hold it straight up.
I'm right here.
I got you. Hold it straight up. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? It went away. You hold it straight up, though.
Right here?
Yes.
Straight up. Yeah, straight up. And okay. Wait, now a little bit lower. Oh, now it went away again. Wait.
Okay, talk now.
Right here?
And talk.
You can see it?
Okay, hold it up. Okay, your hand shows that you are equally creative as well as in charge of your life. You have to do creative things, and you're strong to fight for what you feel is right. But your index finger is also very strong. You got both strong ones. That means your mind is very determined. No one is ever going to stop you from doing what you want to do. And that you, and the way you see your fingers are very roundish. You have a roundishness to your fingers. Everything about you is compassion. You are very, very sensitive. The sensitive is good for readings. You could feel people's pain in a way and their love and everything, but you also feel hurt extra because you're feeling everything. You're a very feeling person, and you can't be in a relationship with anybody that's cold to you. They have to love you or get away.
Yeah, it's true.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so thank you very much for that. I'm excited about that. But listen, one of my fingers are broke. I had it at the job. My finger got broke. So this is my ring finger. Does that make a difference in my life? You can see it right here.
Yeah, see, it's a little bit crooked.
Yeah, because it got broke.
And that's something else I have to tell you. Because it's a little bit crooked, you have obstacles to go around, and you feel that you have to protect yourself because of it. See, remember, the middle finger is your protection, and you're hanging out with your middle finger. See, it hangs out with it. You know. So now watch me. One more thing about your fingers. If you turn them sideways, right? No, not back, sideways, like that. You see how they bend back? They bend back.
Yeah.
Now my fingers also bend back. When your fingers bend back, you gotta be at all. You gotta get all the attention. You gotta go on TV. You gotta be a dancer, a singer, an actress. You can't go in a store and let the clerk ignore you, or you are going to be. You're going to be like really mad because you gotta have attention. You'll wait if you have to wait, but you're not going to be ignored. Okay. And it's a life of being in front of everybody. You gotta be a dancer, a singer, an actress. You can't go in a store and let the clerk ignore you, or you are going to be. You're going to be like really mad.
You know what? I agree with some of it. I really don't need attention like that to be an actress or whatever, but I do need to, when I go into a place where I spend my money, you better don't be on the phone, on the cell phone. You know what I mean? Ignore me.
Cannot be ignored.
Oh yeah, when I spend my money, I feel like I deserve attention. So I agree with that. But I do not have to be on the movies and all that. I don't like attention like that.
Well, that's choices. But the object is inside of you. When you have your hands back like that, that goes to the part of your brain that loves music and dance. Whether you do it or not is a different story, but it loves it. And if you had a chance and you said, Mommy, I want to be a music and a dance person, or a music person, a dance person, and I don't know if I got talent, and to hold your hands up, darling, and she puts her hands up way back, you'll do it, you'll make it, it's okay. That person will never back down from what they want.
Okay, yes.
The brain's gotta want it.
Yes, and I definitely demand respect. That's true. So the attention is you have to respect me. If I'm coming in there and I'm doing something, respect me. So that's important. Wow, thank you. That was so enlightening. I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
And there's more to go. There's more.
Thank you, Janet.
We got to do the lines. We got to do the pinky more, and we got to do the thumb. The thumb tells you everything. It tells you who's going to win the football game. My friend always bet on who I said, as long as you let me see pictures later of them, how they hold their thumb, the thumb will tell me the winners. And we always won. Lots of money.
Oh, okay. Wow, cool. That was fun.
Thank you, Janet.
Okay.
So next we're going to go into Mystic Blue, and she's going to look around the energy. She's going to look at the energy around people when it comes to Mercury retrograde and their money.
Okay. Seems like there's a lot of people that have financial hardship right now, and job loss and stuff with money. seems like they're trying to set aside most of their money nowadays, okay? And I just see a lot of loans being taken for granted right now in the energy. Guess that's basically it.
Okay. So it seems like people having hardship financially, you're saying right now, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people taking out loans and trying to hold on to every penny that they have.
True.
Okay.
Thank you, Mystic Blue.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going into the next question about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. So Pastor Moses, would you mind starting with why did Kim Kardashian and Kanye West break up?
Okay, let's see why they broke up. Well, it feels like it wasn't due to they don't love each other. I got energy like they do, but it had a lot to do with stubbornness and inability to change. It feels like his guards were up, and this is Kanye. Guards were up, and he really didn't want to hear what she had to say. He didn't really want to listen to her gripes and her heartache. And it also feels like he also had a jealous streak, and he had problems with the attention she was getting from male energy. It wasn't like she was doing anything. I just feel like that he had problems with that. And it feels like that he wasn't patient enough, wasn't sensitive enough to her feelings, wasn't loving enough to her feelings. It feels like he was just stuck. He's stuck in his own way of thinking. He's stuck in his past. And it feels like, she tried to hang in there for a while. She really did. But I feel like, the inability to move forward. She really wanted to kind of, I feel like at some point, she wanted to put some spice back into the relationship, make it new again. But I just kind of feel like a lot of energy is just being stuck in his own way and not really listening. So it caused them to separate, because she just got to a point where she just didn't want to continue doing it that way.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. So, Janet, would you mind explaining why Kim Kardashian and Kanye West break up?
Because of expectations. It was, I could give you 100 things and 100 lists about the expectations that were not met. So it all equaled expectations. They both had the Wheel of Fortune of good luck. And what if you have like two people that win $1 million right away? One's going to want to do this and the other one's going to want to do that. What are you going to do? You always got to have a stronger person and a little bit of a person that will give in a little to the stronger person. And they both were stronger. Usually dominant energies, they're called charismatic dominant energies, have to have supportive energies around them, not two people the same, because they need help. They need encouragement. They need, like a baseball player or a football player, needs someone to always go to the game and cheer. But when you're both, in that level of expression and achievement and goals, and you're really that energy of dominant creative people, or just dominant energies, you can't be the supportive energy that each of you need. They both needed to support each other all the time, or most of the time, and it couldn't be done because the energies were different. And it's just, but the attraction was real. You see, you really want that more than anything. But if you ask everybody, why didn't you you know, why didn't your marriage work in a case that everything looks so perfect? But the problem is that the weak need strong, the strong need weak, or you need some way of having a supportive energies hired around you to do all of that. Like two very strong people, who's going to take out the garbage? You know, you got to hire people. What if you don't have money in the beginning when you first start? Who's going to do what? It's not the energy. People have to understand there's like there's about six or eight different major energies. And those energies are attracted to each other because of that they match. The energy work in harmony with each other. And even though you could love somebody so much, you can't be with someone that's matching your energy because there's too much expectations on each other's part. And what does that lead to? Disappointment all the time. And then you think, what did I do wrong? And the other one thinks, what did I do wrong? Gee, I had to go to the game. Or gee, I had to do this. I had to do that. And they don't realize that the love they have will make them really try so hard. But because they'll fall deep because they didn't know. They thought they perfected themselves. They thought they did everything right. They studied, they did your makeup, you did your exercise, you ate right, you did everything right. But you're with someone with an energy that needs a more supportive or submissive person. It's an energy. You can predict everything from energies. But once you understand it, there are solutions to that real smart people will figure out for them. But they didn't, they're not around too much. Psychics know. You can ask psychics.
Thank you, Janet. For Mystic Blue, would you mind explaining why Kim Kardashian and Kanye West broke up?
Well, I believe that basically he had a lot of depression issues, okay? And he thought that the relationship wasn't really working, and they both kind of decided to part ways. I do believe that there was a lot of arguments and a lot of avoidance to their relationship. I believe that basically she tried to tell him multiple times about, his actions, but his moods were like very stubborn, stern. He didn't want to pay close attention to her. He did not feel like he was part of something. She felt like very distant from him too as well. There was just like a lot of, I guess the relationship just automatically burnt out. That's pretty much what I got.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. This question
You're
is
welcome.
for Psychic for lovers. Do we see Kim Kardashian and Kanye West getting back together?
Okay, let me check. Okay. So here's the thing. It feels like they had a hard time breaking it off. They were back and forth. It feels like they still kind of in their head go back and forth. It took some time before they can make it actually break it off. Because they do care about each other. They have family together. They have kids, and they wanted to stick in there for the children, but it was hard. So it feels like they're not getting their needs met, just like Janet said, expectations. Like I said, they're just not getting their needs met. They're not happy with each other because their needs are not met all the time, especially Kim. And I just feel like because of that, it's like they go back and forth. Honestly, I cannot say yes and I cannot say no. Because it feels like, the free will comes in play. I feel like they sometimes ignore all the signs and they let the emotions guide them, the feelings, the love. So it honestly, if they do, it won't work. That's how it feels to me. If they do, it won't work long term. It's back and forth is how it feels. It really is back and forth. They really do care about each other. They want to co-parent, but it's more than co-parent. They still want to be around each other. So not sure. But if they do, it won't last.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. Janet, do you see Kim Kardashian and Kanye West getting back together?
I see that their hearts, when you love from deep in your heart will never let that love go. So the love will always be there. And even though you may not be together for other circumstances, they both still will deeply love each other. That's why you can't forget somebody you break up with that you love because of other reasons. Like all these men that may cheat on a woman and they got to break up. They still love them to the day they die, even if they marry 10 times better people. When you love somebody, the love is like glue in your heart. It's not going away. So what they will do is always love each other and always try somehow through the ethers or through subconscious thought or telepathy to keep in touch with each other and talk with each other when the heart is in the has enough emotion to send messages to each other. They're still always in contact, but you can block them, but it's still in the heart. You cannot get true love out of your heart. Even if somebody had a heart transplant and they were really in love with someone and they had a heart transplant, that person that gets the new heart is going to love that person also. They can't not love. You cannot stop love. When it's love is real, it's love. That's why you get it in heaven all the time when you go, woo, anybody you love, you see.
So do you think they could be back or not?
He will be there for anything that she ever needs, and she will be there if he really needs her. It has to be a real need, but they will not help each other if it's a real need. No, they cannot do it. The heart won't let them do it.
Okay, so
get together, get married, or go back together. Not in that way, unless they actually could. I mean, I think I could put them back together if I could explain everything to them. But that's probably couldn't happen. But they could. It's not an impossibility. It's just we don't have enough help for people. There's not enough doctors that just do love. We got to do. I wrote that book. About the energies, and to match the energy, you got solutions. But nope, there's not a lot of people going out there helping people with these kind of solutions. But the solutions are there. We just don't know them. It's like, who knows the best diet there is? Well, I do.
Right. That's kind of like I feel too. Like there's a possibility it can, but I don't think it will work though long term. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, if they were old and nobody else was left, they'd run to each other.
Okay.
Thank you, Janet. Mystic Blue, would you be able to answer the question of will Kim Kardashian and Kanye West get back together?
I believe that the relationship is one-sided, and I don't think that they will get back together anytime soon. They have like a lot of repressed emotions about the relationship and the frustration of trying to be with each other. So I believe that basically they're not going to ever get back together here.
Okay.
Thank you, Mystic Blue. So we are going to go into our general readings. And this question is for Pastor Moses, Psychic for Lovers. Would you mind explaining the energy for the day of Friday?
Yes. Okay. So Friday is Venus. Venus is the planet of love. So a lot of people go go out on Fridays romantically, go wherever, dancing, movies, whatever they eat. You know, they make a lot of love on Friday and they make a lot of babies on Friday. So Friday is Venus, the planet of love. Okay, so let's just see what we see coming up for Friday. So the energy surrounding Friday. So what it feels like, the energy around Friday is about starting something new, beginning new projects. So it's a good time to really think about just starting something new, beginning new projects, especially when it comes to your finance, like independent financially. So, you know, if you want to get a side gig, you know, turn a hobby into a business, do something to create more finances in your life, you know, so you can be able to either invest or pay off more bills, grow your money or save more. Like it's a good time to try to create some of the ideas you had in your head and to put them, to actually do them, to actually go follow through. So Friday's a good day to start your new business and your new project.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. So we are going to go back in with Janet, and we are going to discuss palmistry. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Okay, so let's do the, you want to do the thumb?
Yes, I think the thumb would be very interesting.
The thumb tells a lot about a person. And one of the things I want to do is, before I even tell you, I want to tell you what you could do to get what you want with your thumb. Because your thumb shows determination. And if you want to get a job and you're being interviewed, you got to take your thumbs and hold them out and hold them strong. Because they're going to look, if your thumb is bent in your palm or very low, you don't really want the job. They know that, and they're not going to hire you. But if your thumb is sticking out, they'll hire. If you got 6 people, they'll pick the one whose thumb is sticking out the most, the strongest, because those are the people with will. The thumb represents your will and your drive. And you don't have to have a lot of energy. You could be someone with very low energy, but a strong thumb. That means that if they say they're going to do something, they will make sure it gets done. So it's not a question of physical strength. It's a question of mental strength, mental commitment. And of course, you will follow with physical strength if the person's into something physical. But a person with their thumb sticked out is the one with the most determination. Now, if the thumb is bent in, the more it's bent in, even if it's sticking out, is obstacles. But if the thumb, as it pushes back into the palm, it's looking for protection. Little children will always put their thumb inside because they're afraid. Fear is in your thumb, surrender by pushing your thumb in. If I was doing a fake war picture, I'd tell everybody, stick your thumbs out. They're not gonna know what they're saying, but they know, they got a feeling you're stronger than the other guys. So the thumb has a lot to do with it. And that's why I'm saying in sports, look at the thumbs. See if the team, while they're at, like they're talking or they're taking a picture, if their thumbs stick out. If more thumbs stick out on one team, that's the team that's going to pretty much win because they're determined. And you win a game by mentally. If you read the book, The Art of War, the mental, the winner of the sport is always determined before the game by who says they're the strongest. That's why they'll always play up a strong player and say, oh, this is our strongest player. Nobody's going to beat them. And they already sent a message. Nobody's going to beat you. So the other people put their thumbs in and they think, well, maybe not. I mean, the news said they're going to win. No. Now you stick your thumbs out. If you have a good coach, the coach will say, get your thumbs out, get that out. You don't have to listen to them. You're the winner. And when you get out there, you think we're the winners, and that thumb will stay strong. If you are a winner, you will have a strong thumb. you will make sure at that time. Now you can keep it in for other things. If you're in an area where you have to be quiet and submissive, you put your thumb away, but then you take it out when you need it, because that's your energy. That's your battery for energy and strength and mental willness. So the other thing about the thumb is the longer the thumb, very long thumbs, right? Very long thumbs are so determined that you look at any actor on TV, if there's 5 actors wanting that job, the one that has the longest thumb usually gets, eventually they get it. They will not take defeat. The longer your thumb, the more you will refuse defeat. So you could have a small thumb and still win over a long one if you are more willfully determined. But if that person with the longer thumbs, they will naturally be picked over people with smaller thumbs. This is real. This is reality, but people don't realize it. So you want to you can stretch your thumb out. You can make it feel strong. Be aware of your strength, and the thumb is a very, very good guide to your abilities to mentally handle things. Even though it's a small thumb, it does not matter. It's the strength you put into the thumb.
Thank you, Janet.
Okay.
Okay, so I will stop sharing my screen now. And the next question is for Mystic Blue. So Mystic Blue, just give me a minute. Would you mind looking at the energy around Mercury retrograde with people's job security?
Wait,
I see a lot of job loss, around that, and I just see a lot of people having issues with their benefits with with their paychecks and stuff as well. I see a lot of confusion moving forward with trying to find another job. It seems like they want to hold back on trying to find another job, but they want to stay, but they want to make another choice, but they can't. And it's getting a little bit crazy for them. So it's more so they just have to put up with what job that they have. But the thing is that they need to move forward and try to get better choices of jobs if they feel like they want to. So that's what I feel. It's like there's a lot of confusion in the energy about the choices and what they want.
Thank you, Mystic Blue.
I guess that's it.
Oh, thank you, Mystic Blue. So we're going to go back into Kim Kardashian and her love life. And so right now, Kim Kardashian is dating Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson is a Saturday Night Live host who lives in New York City. So they have a long distance relationship. She's been back and forth from New York, Staten Island to LA, and she makes the trip often. And they've been together since, I believe, October. The first question I would like to ask you, Pastor Moses, is Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian real, or is this a relationship that is for publicity?
Okay. Pete, right? Okay, Pete. Okay. It doesn't feel like it's real. It feels like, I think one of them have way more money. I think it might be Kim, right? And I think Pete is basically kind of he's kind of like getting more popular, getting more recognition, having a famous and beautiful person. I'm not saying that he doesn't have any fame, but it's not like her. And he doesn't have the money she has either. I feel like he's attracted to her, very much so. Don't get me wrong, I feel like there's a lot of attraction. But I feel like with her, he's kind of different. You know what I mean? Kanye, you know, he had a real kind of outgoing personality as well, and see what he want to say. But with her, with him, there's a little different there. There's a change. There's something that makes her feel a little more safe. It feels like she can walk away from this any time. Like the emotions are not as deep, you know, that she can leave and walk away and not that much attachment. It's an easier one for her to just let go, you know. With him, it's more recognition. There's an attraction, but he does like her a lot and care for her a lot. But I just feel like it's not a real strong love relationship.
That's interesting to hear, Pastor Moses. So I really like how quickly you read that and how you were able to see that. So for Janet, do you think Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson's relationship is real or for publicity?
Well, a little bit of both, but basically he's kind of authentic in his way. And right now she needed someone that she could kind of trust her feelings to and talk to without feeling that it's all publicity, like privately. She gets amused by him. He's cheerful. She needs that right now. He's basically happy. He's authentic in what he does, even on his downside. He's authentic. He's not trying to play a role. He acts himself. His past is erratic, but right now she just needs a distraction and she needs a friend, and he's being a real good friend to her. I know, I have an idea who she's going to marry later. She is going to remarry, and I kind of can see him now. So, but it's not real. It's not right away. It's not going to happen soon. But so she needs a couple of years actually of having a few very close, entertaining, fun friends, because she wants to have a happy life. She wants to be fun, and at least he's offering her fun. Maybe he can't give her everything she needs. She'll have other friends that will help her, you know, get what she needs. But for publicity, it's a very interesting relationship. I'm very fascinated by it because he is someone that is very, you know, when he's in his good mood, he's real fun to be with. He can think of things to do, and she could trust him. But, you know, he's still not exactly everything that she would need. And he likes her because she takes care of herself. And he feels like, wow, I got a girl that really respects herself and takes care of herself and wants real bad to be a real good mother. And he likes all those traits about her. So that's the relationship. But they don't do it fake. It's only a little fake.
That's interesting to hear, Janet. I agree with you. This is like very interesting to look at, both him and her. So Mystic Blue, do you believe that Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson's relationship is real or for publicity?
I believe that it was real at one point, but I believe that he's a party boy. Okay, that's how I feel. I feel that he's a party boy. He likes to have his fun and enjoy different things, you know. And maybe flirt with some women and stuff at times and stuff. And I just believe that there was a whole lot of greed, okay, in the whole relationship. And I just believe that there's no like rekindling this, you know. I think that she is very angry, but that's pretty much what I see here.
Okay, thank you, Mystic Blue. And the next question is for Psychic for lovers. Is Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson compatible for one another?
Okay, let me check. So, well, there's some compatibility. I feel like she enjoys being with him. She enjoys having fun with him. She enjoys he can keep up with her intimately, sexually. So I feel like there's things that she like about him that she enjoys. So there's some compatibility there. But I feel like she's just really almost like a rebound to me. I feel like she's still hurting from Kanye. You know what I mean? He helps her take away some of that pain that she's emotionally going through from her from that relationship with Kanye. I feel like it's like a distraction. I think Janet said something similar to that, but I feel like it's a distraction. So there's a compatibility, but it doesn't feel like a compatibility where they can be together long term, leading to marriage. Doesn't feel like that type of compatibility. More like a distraction, something to make her laugh, do things with her, things of that nature. Have a little bit more understanding and compassionate. He's a little more compassionate than I would say Kanye when it comes to what she wants. But I do feel there's a compatibility, but I don't, at this point, it's just for now, a compatibility. Only for the things that she needs because she's still kind of going through the love blues.
Thank you, Pastor Moses. So Janet, do you believe that Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson are compatible for one another?
She has a very strong need, for trusting someone sexually, and that they are compatible in the sense that she can feel comfortable. She doesn't want to live without any kind of affection, and they can have a good time, even if it's a deep true love. She's not going to be make herself an old spinster. She wants an active life.
Thank you, Janet. And Ellen and Mystic Blue Sidekick, do you think that Kim Kardashian and Pete are compatible for one another?
Where'd you go?
I believe that there was some romance and stuff there before, but I don't think that they're compatible.
Okay, thank you.
Can you elaborate a little bit more, please? Mystic Blue? Why are they not compatible?
I just don't see that they decide on things pretty good. They basically can't figure things out together. So that's what I feel. Can't solve problems together very easily,
Okay, thank you. So my final question is, Psychic for lovers, do you see a long-term relationship between Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson?
All right, let me check. I feel like that I don't feel long term. I feel like for now they're going to enjoy each other, have fun, be with each other. She, like, again, she's kind of like dealing with her love blues and stuff like that. I feel like he feels safe for her, but I feel like Pete will pick up the fact that he's really getting all the emotions and the attention that he needs from her. He's gonna feel like, down in a way. So I feel like because she has her guard up, because she doesn't want to get hurt again, I feel like that relationship is going to sizzle out. I feel like it'll just dissipate, and then they won't be together for long term. In terms of, we're talking about moving to the next level. Yeah. So I feel like he's not the forever man for her. So no, I don't think long term.
Thank you, Psychic for Lovers. Janet, do you believe that Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson will have a long-term relationship?
I know it will seem long enough, but he's gonna get this other girlfriend that he's gonna kind of go back with, or someone that he met that he does care for, but it wasn't ready. He wasn't ready, and he'll end up back with the other person, but he'll still stay friends with her. They won't cut off all ties, but he will be with the other person, and they do move somewhere else. I don't know where yet, but they do move away.
Thank you, Janet. And lastly, Mystic Blue Psychic, do you believe that Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson's relationship will be long-term?
No, I don't think that it's going to be long-term. I think that basically, they have no connection to one another. I think that this was maybe a fast thing going into, but other than that, I just see that there's a lot of fear from, one of them, okay? And they're kind of scared to get into this serious thing. It's just that I just think it's really fast, and I think that basically they're not really serious for one another. That's pretty much what I see here.
Thank you, Mystic Blue. So, Pastor Moses, would you mind wrapping up, please?
Sure. I just want to thank everybody for participating and joining our live screening. And we're going to try this every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll try. Sometimes we're late, and sometimes we might have to change the day now and then. We're still trying to, get all the glitches out, but we're going to make this regular. So thanks for joining. This video will stay up, for a long time. So spread the word, like and share. And if you can't, come to my YouTube channel, Psychic4, spelled F-O-U-R, Lovers. Like and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos.
Thank you, Pastor Moses, and thank you to all of the psychics who made the time today to be on the panel with us. We'll see you soon again.